Alrighty, we are live, sir.
Hasn't popped up for me yet.
No,
There it goes.
there it goes.
So, let me give a tip of the cap to the.
Let me just make sure everything is good. Let's
Yep,
see.
I can hear you.
All right. Why is this?
Why does it keep saying it's offline but then playing your stream?
That is very weird. Cause right now it's saying
There you go,
from.
now it's there.
Now it's there.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
now
there we
it's
go.
there.
Okay, there
Oh
we
wait,
go.
hang on. For this one, I should change my icon. God.
Okay.
It's a great icon.
Yeah, but for right now, because we're streaming and stuff like that, I should use this one. There you go.
Okay.
Change it back.
There we go. So, hello everybody, and welcome to the first TheCrowdaddies Podcast, aka The Flash Show. I, myself, the host, is also known as Peyton or Flash, Young Flash, whatever you want to call me. And
I'm not calling you Young Flash.
well, you don't have to. Way to start off the first episode. So,
That's a statement.
I am joined here with Ashron23. Say hello.
So, I mostly go by Caleb, but yes, it's me.
Either way you want to call him, he's still a trash can in Apex. Everybody knows that.
Who's the lowest rank in this room here?
Anyways. And then today we are also joined by our guest, Mel, or
Hi,
don't know how to really pronounce your Twitch name. I'm sorry.
Mel Z.
Yeah, there you go. And today, our guest is very interesting. Mel is a very interesting person, and we are going to get to know her today. So, my first question is, what do you do? What is your job occupation?
My job, beside being a procrastinator, is a dev tester, development testing. So basically, in a game industry, industry. So working with the developers and making sure that anything that they want to add to the build doesn't break the build, and basically tell them that they broke everything and
And that they're
it's
stupid.
No, we use nice words sometimes.
I mean, I've played with you enough, and I know that's not the truth.
Oh
Not
my
a
god.
dev. Nice things only goes for devs.
They have sensitivity training. So, okay.
That's
Wow, that's pretty cool, actually. I didn't even know that was a job.
I know, she has a nice job, and I'm just like, damn.
I didn't even know that existed, actually.
It doesn't exist like everywhere. It's usually more of a quality insurance kind of thing. So more of a functionality testing, which for me doesn't work that well. I mean, it work. I could do it fine. It's just like it's a more repetitive job. While development testing, you're more hands-on and actually like working with the devs, which is to me more interesting.
Yeah, well, now, so is this something you do all week, or is this something you do, like, on the weekends?
No, that's actually my job, 40 hours a week. Being an adult and all that, I got insurance, I got dental, let's go. And
Oh,
actual
you get
taxes to
dental?
pay.
What? She's got the clean-ass
Yeah.
teeth! She's
Yeah.
got the clean-ass teeth!
You got the shiny pearls.
Damn!
I do be working the life.
She's got the Mr. Clean smile is what she's telling us. Okay. So that's pretty cool. I don't know if all companies do that, but that's for what you're doing, that's pretty nice to have.
Well, every company got quality insurance, that's for sure. After that, like not everyone got development testers.
Oh, okay.
Peyton, you have to remember, she doesn't live in America. In America, you get fucked when it comes to insurance. Anywhere else, you get actual insurance for most jobs you work.
Oh, you're right. I almost forgot.
We're Americans. We have guns and no insurance.
I forget. I forget it's our insurance policy.
Yeah, exactly.
That's pretty unfortunate.
Cue the music. Oh man.
And then on the side, Mel does also do coaching.
Yes.
That's why we have to. She's gonna be leaving us a little bit into the podcast because she has to go
That's the
coach a
thing I
stream. Yeah, she coaches the good old Overwatch.
Yeah, and I wanted
Good quotations.
I wanted to ask because I always keep forgetting what rank is the team that you coach. I can't remember.
The team I'm coaching is Diamond right now.
Diamond, okay.
Low Diamond. Yeah.
Okay, so how long you been coaching?
Been with them for a year now.
Okay, a year.
It's been a while though.
So did you start with them at low ranks, or is this something that you like had a friend and they're like, hey, we need a coach, you'd be great kind of thing?
Well, actually, I was on the upper team when I started coaching them. I was on the Masters GM team, and the team that I'm coaching right now didn't have a coach, or like the coach wasn't, in my opinion, good enough. So I said, yo, let me
A little bit of shade.
Let me just do a little bit of shade. Wouldn't be a show without a shade. But yeah.
Okay.
Let me just take that, and we did the stuff. Like we upped the scrims, got some new members. So yeah, it's been going.
So basically,
well.
she came in and was just like,
"Yeah, this is my show now, bitch.
This is I running this now." Coach Mel kind of do be scary though. I gotta say that Coach Mel do be kind of scary.
No, I just don't say shit. The thing is,
That's true.
It's always easier to be like strict at the beginning and then lay down a little bit than to go the other way around.
That's
so my
true.
strategy is that I
So-
don't take shit at the beginning. I scare the shit out of everyone else.
So-
and
so-
the ones who stays, we're good.
So what you're saying is, this is what I'm getting from it. So we have nice, quiet, shy Mel when we're streaming. But when it comes time to coaching, you become Macho Man Randy Savage, is what you're saying. Very aggressive, just,
She puts on the handlebar
yeah.
mustache.
Yeah, she's,
Nobody can hear me now.
she's got the motherfucking pit vipers. Oh
Mel,
man.
please,
Maybe.
Mel, please, one of your times you do stream and you have your camera on, please have motherfucking pit vipers and like a handlebar mustache or something. Maybe for like a Halloween stream or something, because that would be amazing.
Yeah, that would be amazing.
For Halloween, I'm so not into Halloween. I just put a hat on.
Really?
Yes, sir.
Bro, Halloweens are shit here.
I hate Halloween so much.
Wait, what? Whoa, hold on. Hot take real quick. Did you just say Halloween was garbage?
Wait, Mel,
I didn't say that Halloween was garbage. I said that I didn't like it.
Are you more of a Christmas person?
Don't you say it.
I'm scared to say something.
Don't you say it.
No. So I am in the belief that there's two kinds of people. There's Halloween people and Christmas people.
Oh, and then you got the people who think March is a holiday.
We don't really celebrate Christmas because we don't. We're
So Mel's just the third person who just don't give a fuck.
Oh wow! Wow. Okay, that's what we're doing now. Okay. Everybody just said fuck Halloween. I'm a little triggered now.
Fuck Halloween.
No, I don't say fuck Halloween. I just say fuck Peyton.
I'm gonna see a tweet from
Whoa,
Mel.
whoa, whoa,
I'm gonna
whoa,
see a
whoa,
tweet
whoa.
saying fuck Halloween and every other holiday out there.
All right, time to pull up my Twitter.
Time to get canceled. Speed run to get canceled. Ugh. Anyway,
Hey,
hmm
I have a question for you. Have you watched the trailer that dropped today? For
Oh,
Outcast?
okay. So I'm saying this to the both of you too. I watched the EA Play trailer. I wanted to make a tweet about it, and I suck about tweeting. But I wanted to announce. Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I actually made a tweet, by the way, to show that we're started the podcast and at him
Can
as
we
well
actually
as.
do a segment of that? Like, how hard is it to actually tweet stuff?
It is. Social media is fucking hard. Like, I'll be honest here. Social media is not easy.
Do you ever write something and then look at it and you know it's perfectly normal and it's perfectly fine? It's just like
And
you
then
would talk to
look at it
someone.
for 10 minutes and you're like, yeah, no, that sucks.
And then you start more and you're like, you know what? I really just don't.
Yeah, exactly. And my thing too is like I'll tweet sometimes and I have a personal account, which I'll put in the link of the video once this is published. I made a couple tweets that sometimes when I read them back after I posted them, I'm like, why did I say that? Why did I even decide to even use my thumbs to type this sentence of a disaster?
And the answer is yes.
And the answer is I have no regrets, nor do I even give a fuck. But that's not the point. I shouldn't have said those things because now people that I went to high school with probably think, wow, this man really is off the rails nowadays.
Because look at me, man. This guy really built different.
They're gonna send me to a hospital. Oh, man. But yes, back on track. I should have tweeted this out, but I wanted to tweet that EA Play Live was going to happen, which I found out a little too late, regardless, because it was 2 days away. But I wanted to let everybody know that Apex and I believe the new Battlefield, which everybody's excited for as well, we're going to be having launch trailers. And I was really excited for both, but I found myself more excited for the Apex trailer because when a new Legend comes out, it almost reminds me of Rainbow Six when they would have new operators come out. Mm-hmm. Now, we all know, three of us all know that Apex is in my opinion, is in a weird state. It's in a weird state. I feel like I can't compete against certain Legends. I don't know if that's just me, but I find myself having trouble against certain Legends.
I think the more fucked about that game is just the whole like server and cheating
hit registration
and
hit registration.
It's something I bring up to Mel earlier while we were both playing, is that people are using a kind of workaround to get aim assist on mouse and keyboard now. So basically, they're able to do those quick flicks, instantly lock onto someone like it's cheating, and using that. So the problem right now is with Apex is, one, servers are shitty. There's a bunch of hit rate issues and stuff like that. But then the aim assist problem is a big problem now.
And a lot of people are arguing, and I just seen it not even 20 minutes ago before we started on TikTok. I seen a Timmy clip where he flicked to somebody twice, hip fired, and he knew it was lucky. I could tell in his eyes he was even surprised that he hit both wingman shots. But this guy said, "Oh, and you guys say aim assist is a problem." Do you know how fucking hard?
That guy actually worked his way to the top and got skills.
Yeah,
and exactly. That's what I was saying to Ash earlier. Like, the problem is that they're not gonna get good. They're gonna get the stimulus of being good, but they're not like actual good players, right? If they're putting in a scenario where they have only what they're supposed to have, then they're becoming shit. And it's the problem of getting like instant reward, and that's not how life works or games work and all that. If you want to have that, then you go to a story game. Even that, like, story games don't have that because you got to work your way through the game to get that that feeling of I achieved something, the achievement feeling.
Yeah, and
life does not work that way.
Yeah, and let me say this. I've been playing PC for a while now. I want to say I started in like about 2012. That's when I switched over officially. I don't think some console players realize how long and how hard you have to work to even get a percentage of what some of these guys do in some of these games, especially Apex. Like,
I don't even think that it's a console PC.
Well, it's okay. So, for instance, I've argued with a friend of mine plenty of times about how he thinks that aim assist is perfectly fine, which, in my opinion, I've played with both. I've tested out both, and I still think that aim assist is it's hard to play against. I'm not saying it's unplayable, like you can't beat someone out with aim assist, but it is difficult because obviously, I mean, they're getting assistance from the game. Like,
Well, the other thing too that makes it hard to
gotta
get
understand
someone. There you go, Mel.
oh yeah, go
you
ahead.
gotta understand that, like, have you tried to aim without aim assist on controller? It's so
It's
fucking hard.
Incredibly
hard.
hard.
Incredibly hard.
Like,
So I understand the aim assist. I understand the point four that they're giving to console, like, control player on PC, and it's perfectly fine to have that kind of aim assist. What I don't like is having the exact same thing, right? The exact same like controller, and having a point six. That's not okay in my book. And
yeah,
that's perfectly fine if you're playing only against console player that has the same advantage.
But when
The
you're playing,
0.4 on the controller on PC, that's completely fine because they're having to they have less movement. They have less easily like trackable stuff. Like it's super fucking hard to aim on a controller. So the point four is fine. The point six is not. That's where I'm drawing the line. And I think when they're gonna do crossplay next season, they're actually gonna put everyone to point four.
yeah,
and the
oh
other
go
thing
ahead, go ahead.
that me and Mel have talked about at one point before that's stupid is that on console you can choose to not play crossplay. On PC, you cannot choose to not play crossplay.
You have no choice.
You have no choice. It won't put you up against many console players, at least when it first came out, but now it does it quite often. So the fact that you can't choose to not play against people that have that point six, and by the way, when she's talking about point six and point four, that's basically the percentage of shots that are automatically aimed for you. So 60% of shots on console and 40% of shots on PC have aim assists for them to help you aim. So the fact that you can't choose to not play against those people is one of the problems that comes from the PC version of Apex. That I believe. I feel like you should be able to choose whether you want to or not, even if you're playing on PC.
Yeah, and I look either way, whatever. If anybody listening out here, if you play with either, you play with PC or you play with aim assist. I don't want you to feel like me personally. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm shitting on you. You guys, some of you guys who play with controller are fucking insane, and I don't know how you do it, but good on you. But when I put 40 bullets into somebody and I get lasered in 5, it upsets me just a little bit.
Although I do have to say, I'm shitting on the people that use aim assist with a mouse and keyboard by doing that controller trick. Fuck
Then
it.
again, that's for people who are sweaty cunts. But that's just, hey, that's
I
just
saw someone
you.
doing it in a Pred lobby with the video that showed it.
Predators are a different breed, okay? I wasn't
Yeah,
made
but
to be
now
a predator.
Can have that aim. That's what's stupid. A predator can have that aim assist.
To be honest, even if I was given the choice to get like that fucking thing, like it's not rewarding. Like,
No, exactly.
You go up the ranks. What do you achieve?
That's true.
Like, are you actually proud of yourself? Like, I don't know. It's not rewarding.
But that's the same. The sadly the same thing is like, why do we have cheaters? Those people aren't looking to feel rewarded in the long run. They just want to feel like they're trashing on people at that time, and it's fun for them. But now those same people that use cheats to do that with that exploit are now able to do it without cheats and can't be banned.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and it does take a little bit of skill because you have to understand how to use a mouse and be able to actually get to the person.
A lot of muscle memory.
But if someone's moderately okay on mouse and keyboard, now they have aim assist. That makes them even better.
Yeah. Well, and then continuing on with this Apex talk.
We ranted for a while.
Yeah, we have been, but it's fair. It's fair. I think
True.
everybody needs to express their opinions.
The annoyance with the whole aim assist thing and crossplay is
and hit rig and hit rig. Sorry.
Yeah,
I'm gonna.
But hit rig's an issue with all games.
Instead of like not having like since PC don't have the choice, like if you're gonna go for crossplay on console, then put on the 0.4.
Make it the even.
If you're gonna go on not crossplay, like stick to the 0.6. It's fine, but just allow like when you go crossplay on console, then put them at 0.4. That's
exactly
all there is to it.
Yeah,
that's fair.
Two quick fixes, like she said, is the 0.4 just equalize, just linear, just 0.4. but also adding for PC the ability to turn off the crossplay.
Yeah.
Nice as well.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That's not a required fix, but if you are using crossplay on console, it should be down. Like Mel said, 2.4. It would feel way better. It wouldn't be as much of frustration. There wouldn't be as much as like kind of a split in the Apex community right now if we had that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And so with all that being said, to move forward this Apex conversation, you guys have both seen the EA Play live, and you've seen the new release of the new Legend, and I want to get your guys' thoughts.
So my thoughts on him is Bloodhound in higher ranks is already a pretty often instant pick because Bloodhound just works so well with many different compositions and teams. And so far, to me, he seems like Bloodhound on steroids. So, and with a more team-oriented ult instead of a very selfish ult, which is what Bloodhound currently has. So Seeker I see as probably an instant lock on almost most of the rank tiers, just because of how much utility you get out of the character.
Now, with you being said that, because I just heard you mention that it was kind of selfish for Bloodhound, his ult, because I'm pretty sure he's the only one who can see everything, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
If everybody could see that, it'd be broken.
Now,
it would be broken.
Well, and
I don't want that in the game.
Yeah, but see, now Seer has that ability to track movement, so
it's not just tracking movement. You also
We
get
get this-
live ping of the feet of the person running around. You don't get a full body scan.
yeah.
But that means that or although I do have to say the dome is pretty small from what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
That be like you can easily get out of that and be fine and get out of the way with that ult. But that ult does give you a lot of information. You can easily track people from there. And then also with that passive, like if I'm correct, it's when you ADS, you would be able to hear heartbeats and can use sound to place where enemies are. Let's be honest though, Apex sound is really fucking trash. You probably won't be able to do much with it.
Let's be honest.
It'll probably not do that well, but in theory, being able to tell the location of people from ADSing and hearing heartbeats, a good player is going to put that at insane use.
Now, do you think that Bloodhound and Seer would be in a team composition?
No. Because they both serve the same. So in a team composition, correct me if I'm wrong, Mel, for Apex ranked, you want to have kind of someone like Gibby or Lifeline who can get the heal or give some kind of support. You want to have a rotator, preferably Octane because of his jump pad, or sometimes Pathfinder depending on how the team plays. And then you want to have a
Pathy. I'm not sure about Pathy. I would put Wraith before Pathy.
Exactly.
But
So yeah. So that's right.
You have the right idea. So like a defense character, that is gonna be like a Gibby that can res in bubble, can force a fight close. You get like the lifeline is not used that much because the ult is kind of poopy.
Exactly.
But and a rotator and a strictly damaged person, like a recon person.
Like Bloodhound or like the new hero.
Now
I know Crypto's being used a lot more too in that position, but that's you have to have a good Crypto player.
Used in competitive play, not rank.
Exactly,
It's hard to play Crypto in rank. But
and
highly established teams, having a Crypto can be huge because it just cancels the bubbles and everybody's playing Gibby anyway.
Now that you guys have mentioned Crypto, to any of you motherfuckers out there who sit there on your Game Boy while the rest of the team is fighting, fuck you. Because that has happened to me. You guys just sit there on that fucking camera like you're playing your Game Boy.
I have a Crypto.
I think he's
every
upset.
time I have a Crypto,
I'm fucking upset.
Every time in
yeah, in high ranked Cryptos, every time I run into them, they get insane amount of information. They play with the team as well. It's like I don't know how they're playing 3 games at the same time. It feels like they're doing the drone, they're moving, they're shooting, the drone's still moving at the same time and getting information. It's just insane.
Yeah, I'm just you
He's
people
just talking about like the pub Cryptos who just sit on the drone.
You 20% of Crypto players in gold and silver. Get the fuck off your cam and come help res the fucking team. Let's go. Get up. I know you're doing it right now if you're listening. That's my spiel, because if I go anymore, I'm going to start screaming.
We went to the TED Talk.
Yeah.
Well, welcome to the Pain Set Talk.
Yes. Okay, and so...
AKA fuck crypto.
Yeah, hashtag fuck crypto. Everywhere. But also, I found this really interesting. Why do we need another legend with ping tracking in this instance?
To be honest, I would have stopped that sentence at the first
Yeah, why do we need a new legend?
Why do we need a new legend? That's a great question.
Like, I actually really don't. I love the fact that they're putting content and all that. That's great. But at the same time, pulling a new legend while we just had Valkyrie is kind of like saying, yeah, don't worry about it. We're gonna put new legends every month, and I don't think it's good. That's just like, it's gonna go like Overwatch, where like people are used to like super like a lot of content. I mean, Overwatch never did that, but a lot of content, and then at one point you don't have the creative chips. You gotta go on other games in the company. You gotta do more stuff. So it's just gonna use people to get content fast, just to not have any content whatsoever after. Like right now, next season we're gonna have a new World's Edge. They're switching World's Edge, and we're having a new legend.
And a new gun.
Oh yeah. A matter of fact, Mel, we're gonna get to that gun, or whoever said that. We're gonna get to that gun, because I don't know how I feel about that. But continue, Mel. I'm sorry. I wanted to just point that out.
It was just like, I feel that, and that might be like me unexperienced in like the industry, because I haven't been there for a while. But it feels like if they would have spaced that out as like one, like just a World's Edge now, and at the split we're getting the new legend, something like that, that I feel would have been better. Because it would have put like some times between the Valkyrie and Seer.
A little bit more pacing added to it would have been a little better. And the thing is too, is that they said at one point, they're doing Caustic, Watson, and Rampart reworks / buffs. They should focus on those before they do anything with a new character, because there's a lot of characters that are in game that aren't even being used because they're just not useful.
Well, and
you should make it so that most of those can be used. Now, I know Apex tends to overtune certain things that they want to be used because they want to be cool.
Spitfire. Spitfire.
No, the Spitfire was not an intended buff.
No, it wasn't.
Intended buff. But the EVA 8 was. They were
the EVA 8 was
using
100%.
the EVA 8. The EVA 8 during the massive meta was actually really valuable and really good, but nobody was using it. So they were just like, yeah, fuck it, let's just buff it, because like they wanted to have a changes in meta in the shotgun department, but also the EVA 8 was viable. And
it was already good.
Yeah, and I wanted to say, Mel, do you feel like Apex is becoming oversaturated with legends? Do you feel like there's enough, or
I think that it's gonna come really fast, I think that Overwatch actually is a perfect example of that. There's like 30 people, then 31, 32
something like that,
32 hero, and basically in the like grand scheme of it, like we play 15 at most.
Yeah, like, if that.
Like it's just power creeping on power creeping, and people want more, so they added more heroes, and you're just like, but why do you add more heroes while like you can just like rework one that is never used, so that like they can re-enjoy the character with new stuff, and you can add new lore to it. I'm not a fan of adding. I'm more a fan of it like the changing, so that people like know those characters.
I've always wanted to say this, and this is the perfect time to say this. Well, no, not that. Not that. Whoa. I feel as though that, and I might get hate for this, but in my opinion, I feel like Black Ops 3 did a great whole character design where they only had a certain amount of characters. They all had their skills, but that was it, because they were all counterable in a way.
So Black Ops is a kind of a weird thing to bring into that conversation because Black Ops doesn't have playable characters such and such as Apex and Overwatch does. They more have loadouts, if I'm correct.
No. In Black Ops 3, there were characters that had abilities.
Oh, was there? Okay.
Yes. So Black Ops 3 had, for one, I think her name was Seraph. She had a one-shot revolver. The shots were hard as fuck to hit.
Oh yeah, I know you're talking
but they
about.
were,
Yeah.
but when they hit, they hit. And then they had a Tempest. He had an electrical shot. It was like a rail
Yeah,
gun.
I know you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, but they were all counterable in their own way.
But also, how many characters was there in Black Ops 3?
There was like 5, I think.
Exactly, and the point that Mel brought up very shortly too about the power creep too is like I feel like the new character is actually a permanent point of power creep in Apex, because as we said before, this character seems just more like a upgraded Bloodhound, like a replacement for Bloodhound in a
that
sense.
was, I think they actually did Valkyrie good because like Valkyrie.
Yeah,
would have been,
Valkyrie
like,
felt
hard
good. It was
to
as-
obtain, but
and like we said earlier, Mel, Valkyrie feels like you're playing an entirely different game,
Yeah.
Valkyrie is.
which was good.
I feel like Valkyrie's movement has not been explored as much as I think it has. I feel like she has still quite a bit of potential in her movement. The things that you could probably do if she just got played more, I think we could
I
find
don't think
ourselves.
it's just like people like didn't get to the level of play of Valkyrie yet. I think that's really it. Like I think there's so much more to learn about like how to use her, and of course I'm talking as a plat player, plat chat, ha. But the thing is that like, and that's why I'm not a fan of the new hero like being released now, is that like a good percentage of the community did not achieve like the requirement of knowing a certain hero yet, which is Val, that just got out.
Yeah, Val came out, and then we were able to mess with her for probably like I think she's only been out for an entire season now. We're already getting another one. It's like it's gonna pull all the focus off of her onto this new character, and we won't be able to fully explore her.
She's not gonna be played in the long run because people don't know her,
And
a new character is gonna get released, and we still don't know her.
And I've been playing arenas with Caleb recently, and he's I think I've played a couple games of Valk with you if I am not mistaken.
Yes.
I have a lot of fun with Valk because it is fucking hilarious when I play against people in arenas, and even Battle Royale I've seen this, where you literally jetpack and they were beaming you a second ago when you were boots on the ground. As soon as you go in the air, it's like they lost their fucking mind. I literally watched a Caustic for 2 whole minutes miss every clip and a flatline in arenas. I swear to God. It is the funniest shit to watch. But also with that being said, I feel like when this new legend comes out, and I encourage this to everybody, please don't, play the new legend, for however long. But don't forget that Valkyrie's only been out for a whole season, and I don't feel like she's been that explored to that extent. And I feel like she needs to be played more. Really test out the legend. Take it to its limits. You know what I mean? I feel like this character came out too fast. Way too fast. We've only had a character for 1 season. I feel like, me personally, I'm going to start playing Valkyrie more.
Give the new character to Overwatch, easy.
Yeah,
Exactly.
easy fix.
Okay, wait, we have 3 more minutes before Mel has to go.
Okay.
Done.
So, my question for you, Mel, is: are you happy where you're at in life? Do you feel like you're... No, it's a real question. Real question over here.
Dude, I was waiting for a question like on the LMG. I was so
I
ready.
know, right?
I don't give a fuck. I don't play LMG, bitch.
Well, no.
He's like, get that Spitfire wannabe out of here.
I don't even want to talk about it, bro. It gives me a headache. But no, on a realer note, are you happy where you at currently with your job and coaching, it seems like you do have quite a bit of stuff going on.
Don't forget streaming.
And streaming, yes.
Sure. I don't know how to answer that question.
It's more of a question of like, do you feel like you're happy with what you're doing? You're streaming. You're.
Oh yeah,
Why-
I got a job that I can talk about. I got stream, and I shoot people in the face, and then I get to yell at people because they're not doing the right rotation. So
Hey, that sounds like a good life to me. If I could just yell at everybody all day long, I would, but I can't because people have feelings. But that's just
What?
me. That's just me.
People have what?
People have feelings, so I can't sit there and
Ash, I
scream
don't
at them.
understand the
Yeah, what's feelings?
Oh yeah, yeah. I forgot you guys. Her team doesn't have feelings. Oh my god. Oh.
She has a right to say that. Is our main tank.
Yeah, QT, what's feelings? You just kind of run in with a shoulder and just fucking smash someone.
Yeah, that's very true. And
I check my main.
so, I wanted to ask you this. With Overwatch 2, I don't know how much you've heard, but how do you feel about Blizzard making people pay $60 for a goddamn DLC?
I don't give a fuck because Blizzard got some shit to figure
Oh,
out.
yeah.
Before actually me buying some games from them.
Yeah, and
Good enough answer.
yeah, I'd seen that in
Like
the
things you shared earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
lawsuit against Activision Blizzard. I wish we could have gone into more in detail on that, but
yeah.
Next time.
exactly.
Maybe.
We can talk about it next time.
But
We can have
right
like
now
an
I'm
after the
gonna
podcast.
I'm gonna be late. But thank you for inviting me. It was really
All right,
fun.
thanks,
Yeah,
Mel.
thank you, Mel.
Yeah.
Your scrim.
Good
Kick
luck.
our ass. Yell at DVG for us.
Yes.
You will do.
See ya.
See ya. So.
All right, so I do want to talk about the gun. I haven't seen too much about it. It does seem, it's so what I didn't watch all of the EA play. I didn't get to see too much. I don't know if they talked about the gun at all, but from what I've seen from it, it's Sentinel-esque. So it uses a thermite to charge the magazine,
Mhm.
and it looks like it increases either its damage or fire rates. And from the video, it ramped like the Devo. So
Oh
I'm
my
very
god!
confused.
I hope it doesn't increase fire rate, dude. I will literally
'Cause
uninstall.
I don't know if you watched all of it when it showed that, because it did show him putting the Devo, or not Devo, the thermite into the magazine and loading it. It looked like it was charged, but you could if you listen, you can hear it starts out slow, but then ramps up
really
not
quickly.
nearly as fast as the Devo. Probably like maybe a third of the speed, maybe half the speed as the Devo.
Maybe.
But it does ramp up.
Well.
So
Oh,
I didn't watch
man.
the play. I don't know if they showed anything on that. I did watch the trailer though, so that's where my information for that is.
Yeah, I just hope to God that it's not Spitfire 2.0.
I
'Cause if
hope
that-
as well.
I
That's
hope
not
that
fun.
thing is not like a Devo with the hitting power of a fucking Spitfire. I really hope it's not like that.
Yeah, no, that would not be fun.
I'm not trying to get
Yeah.
smacked at close range in an LMG fight while I'm using a fucking flatline. Okay? I don't want that. Because I'm going to scream.
Yeah.
Oh man. These guns are getting out of hand. In my opinion, they're getting out of hand. I can't anymore.
And see, that's why. So I don't know if you've noticed when I play, I've been swinging away from the wingman. I've been swinging away from like the big guns, like the R9, the R301. I've been using guns like Flatline, 3030, Hemlock. I was popping with fucking Sentinel earlier, but Sentinel's still kind of a usable gun.
Everybody.
I've also been using G7 as well. The thing is with Apex, what sucks is I don't know if you know how they balance weapons in that game, but a lot of times how they do it is for a assault rifle class, almost all assault rifles will have the same time to kill. Body shot. But will be slightly faster depending on headshots. So certain weapons, like for instance the Flatline, has an insanely fast time to kill. If I'm correct, actually the fastest time to kill in the game, if you hit mostly headshots or headshots and a few body shots. It actually, I think it's way faster than the R9 if you hit it all headshots.
I feel like Hemlock smacks
But Hemlock does smack. I also want to talk about the fact that the Prowler is probably not going to be a crate weapon anymore from something in the trailer.
Thank
At
God.
one point, we do see the Revenant actually using it in bursts, and usually if they don't show crate weapons for the next season in the actual trailer like that. So there were some weapons that were not showing up there, and there was one weapon that mainly did that was a crate weapon, and that was the Prowler. So it's good to see that the Prowler may be coming out of the crate because Prowler is such a strong weapon, and with that, I feel like more people will use Hemlock and Prowler because of that burst just being so strong.
This is my thing. If you had a choice between a Kraber, a triple take, and a Prowler, you're gonna take the Prowler over the triple take, in my opinion. Unless you're nasty with the triple take.
It depends on the circumstance. A lot of times I actually don't take Prowler and I'll take a triple take.
Now, it also, for me, it depends on what legend I'm playing. Because if I'm playing an aggressive legend, I'm taking Prowler and I'm going
also
full auto.
How late in the game it is.
Yeah, that as well.
3 squads left. Fuck the triple take. I'm gonna be fighting point blank. Although triple take point blank is basically a peacekeeper.
I
wouldn't
say that.
With scatter shots, but either way,
yeah,
it does about the same damage. So it's like it's not terrible to have, but in the end game you're not going to use it. Whereas the Prowler fucking smacks end game on burst with no recoil. That thing just destroys people.
And I just feel like the Prowler doesn't really belong in the crate, man. It doesn't. I feel like you know what I feel like should have stayed in the crate? Devotion. That shit should have stayed.
Yes. So when Devotion was pulled out of the crate, I've been using Devotion a fair bit to see how I feel about it. Because I know Spitfire is stupidly strong right now, but Devotion actually feels really balanced for 1, the fire rate, 2, the recoil, and 3, the magazine capacity. Because you can't get that big of a magazine on the Devotion. I think it's the max is like 40 or 30 something.
Now here's what I'm gonna say.
It real fast and does a lot of damage. You control the recoil, but it takes a lot more skill to do that.
Here's my thing. When you guys took Respawn, if you're listening, which you probably aren't, but if you do hear this, when you guys took Devotion out this fucking crate, you know what you did? You had these thing called crafting rotations. And when you put turbocharger in the crafting rotations, do you know
the purple energy mag?
Oh, and the purple energy mag. Thank you. I almost forgot. When you guys did that, you know what you did? You gave 30 to 40 people in a fucking lobby a Devotion with turbocharger. So I'm getting third-partied and fourth-partied by fucking teams with Devotions. I'm sorry, but what the actual fuck? Why? Why would you do this? Because I feel as though the Devotion was already strong when it was a crate weapon. Now you're putting it in the hands of people who are like, you know what? We're all going to go Devotion as a joke, but it's not a joke because I feel like I can't fucking play because I have a whole battalion of 3 people with 3,000 bullets shooting at me in the open field because there is no cover on Olympus.
Hayden, calm down. Devotion's not that strong.
I'm sorry.
Even with turbocharger, Devotion's not that strong. Have you tried controlling a Devotion fully ramped up?
Yes, I don't have too much trouble with it actually. But
I as someone who runs a lot lower sensitivity than most people, Mel says Devotion's strong, hates using it. I don't feel like Devotion's that strong.
It really is though.
No. Because here's the thing. It's strong in the hands of a controller player because recoil is not a problem for him. But on a balanced playing field on PC, if a PC user is using Devotion's actually really weak because of how strong that recoil is. Like if you go into the training range and use the Devotion, you ADS, put max things on it, like even a purple barrel, that thing's still rather hard to control. And no mods on it, it's insanely hard to do unless you're doing hip fire.
That's true.
So
my triggering comes just from the fact it's happened to me so many times, and I feel like I have bad luck.
The problem is that most players who play Apex now are not playing mouse and keyboard. They're playing controller. So they have that 0.4 aim assist and they reduce recoil. The thing
true.
is, right now, I don't know if you've noticed it, but in Arena, Flatline's one of the biggest used weapons because you can actually set up your controller so you have no recoil on that Flatline.
By the way, Flatline in Arena, it slaps, and I encourage everybody to use it, even controller players. That shit slaps.
I am a connoisseur of the Flatline, and the reason why I say that is because Flatline, yet again, has one of the fastest time to kills, and if you learn the weapon, it is one of the strongest assault rifles now.
Mel, get the hell out of here with your Wingman and Eva. Okay, that's just toxic.
She's right. Wingman. Okay, there's another point right here. Wingman is the single best gun in the game, and here is why I say that. Peyton, you've seen me use the Wingman on the days that I hit pretty much every shot.
You're dirty.
If a Wingman player is good with the Wingman, no matter what weapon, depending on like Peacekeeper, Eva, and stuff like that in close range, no matter what weapon they go against, they will usually outplay them. And the reason why is because Wingman's ADS movement speed is 0.8 of regular movement speed. So you're moving really quick, hard to hit, and you're doing 45 per shot, 78 at minimum on headshot.
Yeah.
Wingman is... The thing is, too, is Wingman's not an OP spot or anything like that, because it's an insanely high skill cap weapon. But I still believe Wingman is one of the strongest weapons in the game, if you know how to use it.
Yeah, and
Eva right now is just insane in general. The fact that you can beam someone for 60 damage per shot at mid range sometimes.
You mean like 25 feet away? Yeah, I watched it.
Pretty much. No, I fought a team earlier where I just used the Eva at mid to far range, and I 3-shot each one of them, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Well, and then I had a friend of mine tell me that it actually, if you go at a distance and you watch the spray pattern, it shoots in an actual figure 8.
Yeah, no, it does. It shoots. That's why it's called the Eva 8.
Yeah.
That it actually shoots in an 8. So if you know where that is and you aim slightly to like the left and up a tiny bit, or just the left and slightly down or something like that, one of those two, you actually hit more pellets than if you aim center or mass.
Yeah, and
so side to the left is actually the way, or side to the right is actually the way to hit more shots, and even at long ranges, you can hit most shots with it.
Yeah, and I do like using the Eva in arenas. This is typically my go-to, and I'm not saying everybody has to do this, but this is me. I'm not gonna lie. I think of it like CS:GO with the whole buying weapons and stuff. So, first round, this is a guarantee. You'll catch me doing this every time. It's Alternator and Mozambique. First round, every time.
No.
Hey,
listen to me. Purple Mozam first round. You can do it.
Now, granted,
have you ever tried that?
Granted, that shit is OP first round.
You get Digitrends, you get a purple shotgun bolt on it, and that bitch has 6 bolts in the magazine. It is stronger than the Wingman.
Yes.
At that point.
But I don't.
I love running. Mostly when I want to just trash on someone, I'll just run purple.
Tell you what. After this podcast, we'll test that out. All
right. Mel knows. I've done it multiple times, and I've gotten multiple kills, and I'm just like, Mel, Mozam, kind of lit, not gonna lie.
I'm playing.
I was trash talking it, and then you use it, and you're like, holy shit, this is broken as fuck.
I'm playing Bangalore. I'm smoking the whole team. I'm going in the smoke.
Yep. And I'll play Bloodhound. I'll scan as well.
That just sounds toxic now. That just sounds toxic.
Hayden, have you tried Volt Digi Bangalore in
Yes.
Arenas yet?
Yes, and I feel like that's a good tactic.
It's a really good loadout for Bangalore.
Now, on Overflow, Overflow's annoying map. I just want to say that now.
Overflow, is that the kind of like lava you want?
Yeah, I don't like that map.
I don't like that map because of that middle area being so open and with very little cover as it is. The left side is the only place you can really take a fight at that point.
It's
really hard.
I want to say this too, because you guys both mentioned how fucked sound is in Apex. That middle section, when you're trying to hear somebody after they've pulled a fucking Houdini on you, it's really hard to know where they're at because there's so many options of where they could have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very easy to, how Mirage says, get bamboozled. Very easy. But I don't like that map at all. I feel like the other, 3 maps that I think there is. I think there's like 4 other maps, whatever.
I think there's 4, but they took Kings Canyon, the Skull Town, actually out of the rotation, which made me very sad.
Yeah, that did make me
I
very
thought they were
sad.
going to keep it on there, but then they decided to just take it out. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
I don't.
What is actually wrong with you?
I liked it, but I started getting annoyed because everybody just wanted to play snipers, and that wasn't really that fun.
See, I love doing it, and again, I'm a Pathfinder main, so I just love eating myself around all the time.
In other words, sweat.
Hey, I don't sweat, I play better.
Oh, God, here we go.
Just because I'm better than you doesn't mean you have to say I'm sweating.
He's sweating Dorito nacho cheese.
True, but...
Got him.
But I just wish some of these maps for Arena, and I wish they would actually fix the source script errors for sound in these games, because it's getting annoying.
I just want to point out to everybody that although we may be upset with the way Apex sound is, go play Rainbow Six for me. Then come back and tell me about sound.
Oh yeah, Rainbow
as
Six
much
sound
as
is
we,
someone could be like sprinting behind you shooting and you don't hear anything and then you get stabbed in the ass.
I just want to point that out. Rainbow Six sound will never be fixed. I'm sorry. I love you. I love the community for the people who actually aren't toxic, but I want to let everybody know that yes, Apex sound may be bad, but go play Rainbow Six, please, because that sound will never get better, and the people who keep asking for the bug fix, it's not going to happen. They don't care about you or me, okay? Just going to lay that out right there. But
do we want to talk about the main problem with that actually at this point?
With what?
So the bug that you're talking about, I'm guessing, is, have you had the inverted audio bug before?
For Apex?
No, for Siege.
No, it's never happened to me, but it has happened to a friend of mine.
So I've had it happen before while I was on stream. And do you know how you fix that?
How do you fix that?
You have to recreate some game files.
Excuse
to
me?
even be able to, yeah. Because it's an actual update error basically that went bad. And you have to recreate game files to be able to do it. Yeah.
I beg your pardon? I beg your pardon?
Yeah, I had to basically delete certain files, use Steam to recognize what files were messed up and replace them, and then my audio went back to normal. Because I tried relaunching it 3 times and it didn't fix it.
Oh, wow. That is ridiculous.
Right.
So,
what are those things you want to talk about? Because we've been just ranting this entire
yeah. So,
show notes.
So, to wrap up the Apex, which I'll go through semi-quickly right now, for all of you out there, Caustic is getting a rework / changes, maybe a buff, before the end of Season 9. There's another buff coming to Rampart, which I don't know why the fuck she needs one. It's not like she's already hard to play against anyways, but...
Did we know the buff, or did we just know that there is supposed to be one coming?
Oh, no, she's getting another buff, but it's halfway through Season 10, so you guys don't have to worry about it right now as of Season 9 is coming to an end. So, just know that it is coming, and I hope and pray to God that all of us will survive the infection that is Rampart. Watson and Horizon are both getting buffs. No dates announced for that, but...
Isn't Watson technically getting a small rework, actually, to some of her abilities, too?
I don't know about rework, but it was said that she is getting buffs. I don't know if they recently had added that or that just was not stated in the article I read, but I know for sure she's getting buffs, and so is Horizon. So all you Horizon players out there, including myself, I love Horizon. I hope that the buffs that are coming are going to make her, how do we say, at least playable. Because she's not playable at this point, in my opinion. But, hey, that's just me. And so far, that's really about it for Apex. But I do want to get into Diablo 3.
Which we actually need to play some of tonight.
Yes, and I want to... Me and Kalen want to go through the latest patch patch notes and buffs and updates that have recently just come out as of 2-3 days ago, something like that. It was pretty recent. I don't think it was too far or too long ago. So I kind of got most of what I thought was important in the patch notes. Side note, if you guys do pre-order, which I'm pretty sure has already been mentioned for all you Diablo fans out there, if you do pre-order Diablo 2 Resurrected, you do get a transmog for Barbarian only. That's really about it. And I'm sorry to all of you who pre-ordered the game and were expecting more. I sincerely apologize to your wallets, and I hope for the best of you and your coming.
They're probably going to give a little bit more to...
It didn't seem like it.
Well, that's what they did for Diablo 3 with some of the DLCs when you pre-ordered them. It said, oh, we're just going to give you this. And then they actually gave you like a follower and other things too. So I feel like they're going to give you a little bit more.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. But as of right now, when I had seen that, I didn't get upset, but I was generally confused on why? Just why? Was that the only thing you guys could say? Could you... I don't know. Anyways, that's not what we're here to discuss and read about today. So, going into, these patch notes, we're going to start off with Monk. If you're following along, I am pretty sure I sent it to you.
Yeah.
Okay, so starting off with Monk, there was some skill changes. They weren't even skill changes. There were more buffs to the skills that he has, which were his Mystic Ally buffs. So Mystic Ally Fire, they now split into, what did it say? Oh yeah, I can't read. Now splits into 2 splits instead of 5. But now all fire allies can split. Wow, this is really confusing. I didn't realize when I read this at the time. Damage radius.
The main thing is that the damage radius was slightly increased, and the damage per ally, and when it splits, it was increased from 480% to 1920%. 1,920%.
I want to express to everybody, how do you go from 480 to 1920?
Do the math. That's it times 4. They multiplied the damage by 4.
But why though? Was it really that weak?
So the problem was that they weren't being used in particular. There was the water one was the best one because of it did the more AoE damage and it did a stun if I'm correct.
Water
and
was pretty
OP.
OP.
The air one actually gave you more. I think it gave you more energy and a little bit more defense. So that's the reason why.
Now, with that being said, that was that one wasn't too drastic, but it was drastic enough to catch my attention to possibly incorporate that into a Monk build. So definitely gonna have to test that out and maybe come back for the next podcast for a review on most of these changes.
Or wait till after the stream when we try them.
Well, that's what I mean. We're basically gonna test them out after. I know I am, at least. I don't know. I don't know. I really want to get into the Witch Doctor, which we'll get to here in a bit. So the next one is another fire ally where they improved the AI. So all allies now explode more consistently, which I did notice when I first started building my monk. Sometimes they did not explode, and
or if they did, they just kind of missed. They were
out
of range. So the AI thought that the range was wider than it was. So it would try to just, as soon as it got in range of multiple of them, it would just blow up, and then sometimes it would just get in range, and then move out of range and explode and do nothing.
Yeah,
which was one of the problems. It
was pretty annoying, but if they said they fixed it, so again, we're gonna test that today.
Oh, I have a monk build that uses a set that allows me to have all of the allies active at the same time.
Oh my!
I can activate them all at the same time, so I'll be having a lot of fucking fun tonight.
Well, with him having that, he's not gonna need every ally because this next one's gonna blow your guys' fucking mind. Earth ally, which in my opinion was already a strong ally to begin with. Earth Ally damage increased from 380% to 4,500% weapon damage. I wanted to let you guys know that 2 nights ago, I tested this out when I had first seen this patch. All I have to do is, mind you, I'm fighting in the 70s, okay? I'm just in, my Paragon ranks now. And these fucking bosses have health, man. But when I see my Earth Ally roll over somebody and crit them for half their health, that's a problem. Because it just doesn't make any sense for me to press one key. Oh,
do we want to talk about that damage, by the way, is like almost 12 times the damage.
Oh, dude, I don't know. Is it just me, or I felt like Earth Ally was already really good as one of the abilities?
Earth Ally was, because of the fact that, if I'm correct, Earth Ally turns into a boulder and rolls around and does a shit ton of damage.
Yeah, it already does a shit ton of damage.
So now it just does 12 times that damage. So it's like, ha! Because as I was explaining to Peyton before, Monk was one of the lower, and Monk has some insane survivability, like some insane tankiness, but really lacked in DPS unless you used one build, which was the build that was last season, which was the punchy build, where you just dash, you do a bunch of punchies and do a bunch of damage, and you dash, and do a bunch of damage and punchies, because you just ramped up almost infinitely.
Well,
whereas now they just buffed an entire set / abilities just to have on the side, because allies, mind you, will stay active at all times and help you fight and take damage for you even more so. So they just straight up buffed a lot of that.
Yeah. And so the Rapid Strike for Monk, the Spirit Spenders that teleport you while Epiphany is active, are also mimicked on a nearby target with 350 to 450% increased damage for free. Yes,
so now
yes.
Rapid Strike, which was one of the more used ones for that build I was talking about, the punchy build with the dash, now does a little bit of AoE damage too, which, again, Monk really fell off with AoE damage with his Spirit Spenders compared to a lot of other classes too, and this just gives him one that does a lot more AoE damage. So it's really nice to see on Monk. I'm really looking forward to trying that one out as well, because that's actually the one I used as my Spirit Spender, or not Spirit Spender, my punchy one.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Spirit Gain or whatever.
Yeah.
And now that your Spirit Pendants that do that now can do more AoE, you have to have Epiphany, a Spirit Spender, and Rapid Strike all at the same time. But that being said, most builds use Epiphany because Epiphany is just a god tier ability.
Yeah, it is.
It's just that extra AoE is just gonna be really nice.
And yes, ladies and gentlemen, you heard me right. 350 to 450% increased damage for free. For the free 99.
The free 99.
The free 99. So definitely take advantage of that if you guys are considering building a Monk, if you haven't yet.
Wait, there's more for the Monk Frontier. So, Ina's Mantra was one of the 4-piece, 6-piece sets. I think it's actually 2, 4, and 6. For Monk.
Yeah.
Ina's Mantra 4-piece set did get changed. Now you gain the base effect of all 4 mantras at all times at the 4-piece, not just 6. You also gain 5% damage reduction for each Mystic Ally you have out, which is the Mystic Ally build I was talking about earlier. So now they increased the survivability for it way more. And your Mystic Allies no longer take damage. So not only do they grab hits and can absorb projectiles, they just don't fucking die anymore. Monk sounds a lot more like Necromancer. Sorry. And as much as 6-piece was changed, so they gain the passive abilities of all 5 ruined Mystics allies at all times. So now you have all 5 of the Mystic allies, including the Fire and Earth one that got buffed, and attacking enemies creates your chosen Mystic ally that lasts 15 seconds up to 10 Mystic allies. So now you create even more of them. So as long as you have, if you have one Mystic ally chosen, you now create multiples of that one. So, the Earth ones that do 12 times more damage, now you summon 10 of them.
Oh, and that's not it. The damage of your Mystic allies in the 6-piece set is increased by 3,000% for each Mystic ally you have out.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Increased 30 times damage for each Mystic ally.
Ladies and gentlemen, you literally have a broken build just in that 6-piece set. I'm sorry, but your Mystic allies don't take damage. You literally have human shields, and their damage is increased by 3,000% for each ally you have out.
So there is, I believe, two legendaries that are really good for Monk that got buffed as well and affect Mystic allies. One, the Crudus Boots, which I don't have, and I really wish I had, but now I need to fucking farm them.
Yeah, me too.
Mystic Ally summons 2 Mystic Allies that fight by your side, so they double the Mystic Allies that you would have normally spawned anyway. On top, and will stack with your set piece that we talked about earlier. They also deal 150 to 200% increased damage, so 1.5 to 2 times increased damage, as well added on to the other buffs, and are able to attack with their active forms, so their abilities that do the increased damage for even longer. That doesn't say exactly on there. I'm pretty sure when we get in game we can check that out. But I think it's actually a 0.5% increase, or a 0.5 multiplier to the actual increased time. So you're looking at a fair bit there. And then Bindings of the Lesser Gods, which I actually do have, which is one of my favorite legendaries to use. Enemies hit by your Cyclone Strike take 150% to 200% increased damage from your Mystic allies for 5 seconds. Split Fire allies gain 5 times this bonus. So for builds that use, I forget what the legendary one item is that gives you increased damage depending on how many legendaries you have. You can now run Cyclone Strike plus Fire allies on this build and do an insane amount of damage.
It's in his mantra, isn't it?
No, in his mantra is the set piece. There's a There is a, I don't know if it's a set item that's a single set item or if it's a legendary item itself, but there's an item that gives you increased damage depending on how many legendaries you currently have.
Oh, okay.
Oh no, it's a set piece, and can only be can only be the only set piece active at that time.
Oh,
if you put any other set pieces, it immediately falls. Now, they did buff the Aegis of Valor 2-piece set,
which needed it.
The Fist of Heaven empowers you, allowing Heavens of Fury to deal 120% increased damage for 5 seconds and stacks up to 3 times. That is, if I'm correct, the Aegis of Valor is the punchy build that I was talking about earlier. It got a slight buff, not a whole lot, but it was
needed
strong anyway, so it just is a little bit better. Then, out of nowhere, a Necromancer buff. Masquerade of the Burning Carnival 6-piece set. Bone Spear cast by your Simulacrums deals 6,000% increased damage. Now, I believe that's actually an added set bonus, not just a buffed one. So that's an additional 6,000 damage. The Burning Carnival set was already insanely strong because you just pump a bunch of these Simulacrums out that just mimic your things. And now Bone Spear, which is one of the strongest of the actual spenders for Necromancer, is increased even more.
Oh,
man, I
and
need to play a lot more Necromancer now too.
Yeah, and for you Wizard players out there, you probably don't care, but because you're playing Frost Mage and you're too busy walking around doing nothing, mirror image icon now displays a counter to display how many mirror images are active. Doesn't matter because you're all playing Frost Wizard, so it doesn't matter.
And even then, that's not a buff. That's not really much of a change. It's just more of a quality of life aspect change, or they just make it so that you can see how many you have, which I know is helpful for some things, but not all.
Because nobody cares because everybody's playing Frost Wizard.
Now, there is an introduction to Ethereals, a new weapon type that players will be able to acquire. Ethereals will roll for powerful set of fixes. Random class weapon legendary power. So, as well as a random class of passive power. So these are, so you have your ancient legendaries, now you have Ethereals that are just, there's a lot to go on here. So Peyton, if you want to post that in the video, comment below so they can look through it. But it's basically like having I think they're called the Hellfire rings and Hellfire necklace that give you certain passives for certain things. It basically is like that, but weapons. So it's going to be really nice to fit those in to kind of min-max some of your builds and possibly give you that extra little thing that you needed to get it right over that top. So, you can hit those. I think it's like Nephilim Rifts, like 500 or whatever, if you want to hit those really high-end ones.
Now, for more Monk stuff, because it's not like he got enough, all Mystic allies and their abilities now benefit from Mystic ally damage, which, I mean, didn't really need it.
Not right. At this point, they're making Monk one of the strongest classes. Why not make him stronger, right?
Yeah.
Why the fuck not?
Now,
yeah.
Now, Monk is... I said this to you last night. I'm not saying this is a thing, but if it was a thing, If Diablo 3 had PvP, there would be monks everywhere. It does?
There's a dueling mode for it.
Oh.
It's not like you can queue into a PvP, but if you wanted to play against my monk, we could.
We're not doing that.
You would probably get absolutely fucking rolled.
We're not doing that.
My monk is like Paragon level 500 or 700.
I told you guys, he's a sweat. He's a sweat.
I have no life. Well, I do. I just don't give myself spare time. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well,
but also, I do want to say the next seasonal stuff, which is why I don't enjoy this. I think it's the stupidest thing ever. So they buff the fuck out of one of the sets in his mantra, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the set Hadrig's gift for the new season for Monk is Uliana's Stratagem, which is the only one that didn't get a buff.
Wow.
And it's one of the worst ones.
Oh my gosh. They're like, we're just going to skip right over that. Nobody even saw that.
Exactly. Now, for the Wizards main, Veer's Amazing Arcana is the current one. So if you want to play an Archon build right now, it's the perfect time to get the full set. But other than that, it's the rest of them was Morton King's Call for Barbarian, Spirit of the Araki, which is for Witch Doctor. Which Witch Doctor, you get some buffs, so Witch Doctor can be a little bit better. But I don't have the buffs really lifted. Oh no, we do have them. Never mind, we do have them right here.
Oh,
Witch
do
Doctor's Ethereal Fix, the Gibden. 20% of all voodoo skills now probably benefit fetish sycophants.
Now, it like we discussed last night, it's not much, but
it kind of makes Witch Doctor kind of compete with Necromancer a tiny bit.
Now, Witch Doctor, which you probably all know, still kind of is a very weak character in my opinion.
Oh yeah.
I don't get the same satisfaction like I do with Demon Hunter and my Wizard and my Monk, or even Necromancer for that.
I was gonna say, since they had a Necromancer,
yeah,
fucked.
Literally, Necromancer. Literally playing Necromancer, you really don't have to do much if you have a good minion build. But Witch Doctor, look, I'm gonna give it a try. I don't want to, but I will. I feel as though he isn't appreciated as a character. I feel like he needs more buffs. Not to the extent, mind you, where Monk got this... I don't even know how to explain it. Yeah, I just feel like Witch Doctor should definitely earn some more buffs. I feel like when he first originally came out, he was a very interesting character. He was unique. He was different. I also feel like they just don't give a shit anymore. They feel like that he came out, nobody really liked him. They're like, well, we could either fix him or we can release this new character choice. And I feel like they did the character choice instead of fixing him. But that's...
My thing with Witch Doctor is not necessarily that the class is bad. It's just that it's so complicated, and because it does so many different... Witch Doctor is like the jack of all trades, but seriously not the master of one. Like it's like I'm an adept of all, or something like that is it's like better than a master of none. In this case, a master of one is a little bit better than Witch Doctor.
Yeah, I mean, you're playing checkers with Witch Doctor while everybody else is playing chess.
Exactly.
There's no other way to put it, really. Like, it hurts my soul, because I really do like Witch Doctor. I think he's a fun character to play, but he is not... Like, if you're trying to grind for something, you don't bring Witch Doctor. You play Necromancer, you play anything else but Witch Doctor. Unless...
Monk, 'cause Monk is
or you can all just play Monk and then, just destroy everything out of existence, So, that's pretty much... the big things in those patch notes. I'll post the full patch notes in the video. That way, for you guys who want to see more of the little bug fixes and stuff, you guys can definitely just go in there and read it all for yourselves. But now to the last part. Yep, the last part of the show, the tech news.
So I have some interesting little things to talk about that I'm very happy to actually know about. So
and he is legally allowed to say. We just want to put that out there.
Yep. I am able to give information about iPhone 13, Google Pixel 6, and the Samsung Galaxy S22. Now, I have to say, I'm not an iPhone person. I really hate Apple. I don't don't really like how their scheme is made for how they make products and stuff like that. And because of how frail their operating system and their phone displays are, I tend not to like them. Again, I work on Apple, but I don't like working on them all the time or at least using them. But the iPhone 13 has some monstrous updates that really made me think for a second. So we do know, confirmed, the four iPhone 13 models are going to be the same size as the iPhone 12, and there is four versions. You do have the iPhone 13 Mini, iPhone 13, iPhone 13 Pro, and the iPhone 13 Pro Max. Now, the benefits to the Pros are actually going to be a confirmed dynamic 120 hertz refresh rate. It's going to be the new AMOLED screens with their Retina display. It can be kind of continued up from the iPhone 12, but it's also going to be slightly higher resolution. They said about 1440p, which is about what the iPhone 12 was, but it looks like they're probably going to go about 4K possibly as a non-overscaled resolution. So that's going to be really nice. Now, the other fun thing is that the A15 Bionic chip, if you guys know about the M1 chip that is very popular with the MacBooks and Mac Pros, the M1 chip has a lot of information that they learn, a lot of stuff they can use in the A15 chip. So the A15 Bionic chip is not only going to be significantly faster than the A14, which was already the fastest chip on the market for mobile phones, but it also has that learning process to the M1 chip applied to it too. So you'll basically have the speed of a laptop, like a Mac, in your phone now, which is kind of fucking ridiculous at this point. They also did improve the 5G with a new modem that they created to help with 5G a lot more. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but the iPhone 12 it was able to do 5G, but there was a lot of issues with spotty, even with good relays and antennas.
Let me say this as I do own the iPhone 12, and anybody else out there who owns the iPhone 12. Where I live, I'm not saying, it could be a different experience for everybody, but in just where I live, going from just city to city, you can definitely notice the difference in speed. When I come to my hometown, my speeds in 5G are a lot faster. I go to the city, literally, I'm not kidding you guys, 30 minutes away, and it's like 5G lost its mind. Like it's garbage. I can't even load Google homepage sometimes. I just want to put that out there. I don't know exactly why it does that, because the town that's 30 minutes from me has way more 5G towers than my hometown. I don't understand why. It just does.
And it's just a problem with the actual modem that's inside the iPhone. And with certain cases and skins, they found out that 5G won't even work if they have even the slightest bit of metallic paint in them. So it's just a sad case.
Oh,
but
wow.
For the last bit of the iPhone 13, my favorite part is going to be the camera. They have some really fun upgrades to the camera.
Okay, I'm excited to hear this.
First thing to note is that the actual notch for the camera is going to be smaller. Better camera, smaller notch size.
Wait.
Like notches. I hate notches, but the actual size of the notch on the back is gonna be smaller.
What do you mean, like the
actual bump, the actual like area on the cutout on the back of the phone, that little square you have is gonna be a smaller square.
Like how much smaller are we talking?
They don't give the actual specs. There is an image that it does have on here about that I can't technically show, because it has a bunch of other information on there.
So we'll just say it's like.
It's maybe a quarter of an inch, a little smaller.
I guess that's nice.
That's pretty good, especially with the upgrades that they're giving to the phone. So one of the main things is improved ultra wide lens on the Pro models. So on the Pro models, you'll have even wider of a lens for the rear camera, which is nice. Not amazing, but nice. But the thing I'm really looking forward to is the astrophotography feature. It has a feature that not only allows you to take incredibly good low light pictures, but able to take pictures of the goddamn stars. A camera on a phone can take pictures of the goddamn stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have entered.
We have gotten to the point where we want to be. Now the other thing too is we all know portrait mode. Portrait mode allows you to do these awesome little effects where they blur out the background. You can do black and white. You can do a little bit of bokeh and stuff like that. that is now the AI learning for the software for that can be applied to actual videos live, which is
Oh.
awesome. So on it doesn't say if it's just pro models or not, so I don't know. It probably is just going to be the pro models for something like that, but it does have portrait mode for video, which is pretty awesome.
Now, do they mention anything? Because when I'm picking up my phone right now just to, when I go to my camera and I go to portrait, it's, when I take a regular photo, it's 60 frames. It looks nice. It's in high quality. I switch to portrait mode and I literally feel like it's gritty and just.
Well, here's the thing with portrait mode. Portrait mode will look gritty unless you actually use it on yourself.
So the front camera.
If it doesn't see a person, front or rear camera, if it doesn't see a person, it'll tend to look a little gritty.
Oh.
It doesn't know where to apply the effect to. So that's just a user error. Get fucked paid.
Okay. Hey, it's a question I have to ask.
I do want to say about something that's they aren't fully confirmed yet. There's information that Apple is talking about, but they don't know if they'll have ready for it or not.
Okay.
The two things that I want to talk about is reversible wireless charging. Basically, if you turn your phone upside down, you put your AirPods on the back, and your AirPods charge using your iPhone's battery. They've kind of given very spotty information. It looks like they want to push it out with it, but they can't say whether they can or will be able to or not. Maybe something strictly just for the pro versions, but that's something we need to look forward to, and I really would look forward to in a phone because that'd be awesome. Another thing, which is what's on the OnePlus Pro models and the OnePlus newest models of phones, is a fingerprint scanner on the actual front display. Now, again, they say that this isn't confirmed yet, but it is possible that they're trying to get that out for this phone. It may be for a future version of the phone, maybe a different version of it, or on the iPhone 14. They also have said that they are kind of sticking to the iPhone 13 name. I know the iPhone 10, they named it the iPhone X and things like that, but for the iPhone 12, they went back to it, and same with the iPhone 11, but the iPhone 13 seems like it's going to be the name. Hopefully they don't skip numbers like they did with sadly, the iPhone 9 that never got created because they wanted to go X. But yeah. So that's all I can really talk about with iPhone 13. I am actually looking forward to getting my hand on them and actually work on them. But I'll have to wait a couple more months for that. So the Google Pixel 6. So I am a Pixel fan. I've loved the Pixel up until Pixel 3. 4 and 5 just kind of disappointed me because they started to kind of started not caring about being a high-end competing with like iPhone or things like that anymore, which the Pixel 3 did, which is why I enjoyed it. But they can say that they're going to have two different models, the Pixel 6 and the Pixel 6 Pro. Probably very similar to how the Pixel 3 and the Pixel 3 XL worked. I don't know if it's going to be called the Pro, just like they do want to call it the Pro, which is going to be kind of weird. I feel like they're taking a little bit of jab at Apple there. But it looks like it's going to have a slightly bigger screen, slightly higher resolution, and a slightly upgraded camera in the back. So if you're a camera person or you like actually being able to use a bigger screen, that's what he really wants to talk about. Not bigger camera on the back, or better camera. It actually has 3 cameras on the back of the Pixel 6 Pro.
Wow.
So it'll have an extra camera. So it's going to have the telephoto, which is the closer one. It's going to have the regular photo lens, and it's going to have the ultra wide, which will be pretty nice. Whereas the regular one only gets the ultra wide and the regular photo, no telephoto, no close, no macro lens. New Google built Whitechapel CPU is one thing to look at. So in this version of the Google Pixel 6, we have confirmed that the CPU and the display and maybe some of the RAM and stuff like that is actually going to be Samsung parts. Pixel is actually working directly with Samsung, which is why on the back of the Google Pixel 6, right into the camera bump, you'll actually see it says Samsung as well as the little G logo. I'm not a big fan of adding the nomenclature to a bunch of devices and having that all brought up. Again, I'm going to begin the iPhone 9 Pro, or not the iPhone 9, the OnePlus 9 Pro that has the Hasselblad camera. I believe that's how you pronounce it. And it has that little thing on the back. I'm not a big fan of it. But if that means Samsung's going to be helping out Pixel and we get to have a best of both worlds kind of case situation there, I'll take it. They can't give too much of a talk about the Whitechapel CPU except for it's going to be vastly superior, supposedly.
Quotations.
We already know that the software for Google Pixels are way faster anyway. the Whitechapel CPU is not going to compete with the iPhone 13. I'm going to tell you this right now. It can barely maybe even compete with the iPhone 10. But iPhone is just way faster in the CPU market anyway. Now, one of the cool things about the iPhone or the Pixel 6, I keep saying iPhone. The Pixel 6 is going to be the Android 12 will be pre-installed on them. They're not going to come with the Android 11. It has to be upgraded. They do come with the Android 12 on them. Now, some more information about the Google Pixel 6 and 6 Pro. The 6 model will have 8 gigs of RAM, non-upgradable to a different version, and it has the storage models of 128 to 256. The Pro will actually have 3 different model versions. It'll have the 12 gig RAM model, which is across the board. All will have 12 gigs, which is pretty nice. But it'll have the different storage options of 128, 256, and 512 gigabytes. So you actually get to have a fairly decent storage capacity there. Now, for people who really care about battery, the 6 and the 6 Pro don't have that much different. The 6 has the 4,614 milliamp battery. The 6 Pro only has 5,000. So it's not really a huge upgrade. And for the display increase and camera, really the 6 Pro is probably going to burn through its battery way faster. But we'll see if that remains to be changed in the future if they try to up it a little bit more like the previous versions did.
Hopefully they'll do some tinkering around with the battery.
I hope so, or some software or something like that, because the increase in display size plus the display quality is going to tear at some battery.
Yeah, and I personally, as an iPhone user, my battery tends to last me. I'm not always on my phone, but when I am, my battery even will last me, if I'm not on it all day, day and a half, because there are still things that run in the background. If you have like a watch app, you know, like for instance, I have a Fossil watch, I have the Wear OS app that does technically kind of run in the background, and Bluetooth does drain your battery quite a bit.
Yes.
So, you know, usually it lasts me about a day and a half. Now, if I'm constantly on it throughout the day, which I have been recently, just because, you know, work is not slow, just the job I'm on right now is coming to a finish. So there's not much to do, and plus on my lunch I'm on my phone. So it usually lasts me about probably a whole day, probably until about 9 o'clock at the latest. But I really do want to see a phone company actually come out with a good battery that actually can last you quite a while. So
that's the reason why I enjoy the OnePlus phones. My OnePlus phone I have right now is a 7,500 milliamp battery. The OnePlus 9 Pro that I'm going to be switching to has an 8,000 milliamp battery with 2 4,000 cells. So they actually kind of work in configuration.
Okay.
So I wish iPhone did that. iPhone, I think the 12, they didn't really say anything about the 13's battery. The 12, I think, had at most a 7,200 milliamp battery. So not bad, but and for how much the iPhone, the quality for the display and all this other stuff in the camera, they tear up battery anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Now, last phone to talk about before I finish off with the GPU shortage after. Those of you who want to get information on that, I do have some good information and some sad information, which is kind of funny. But yeah, anyway, Samsung S22 is confirmed that it's going to be called the S22, which is not very surprised. Yeah, and Samsung, they just kind of, here's a phone. But good information, though, for the S22 is that it's actually going to use AMD graphics power.
Whoa.
It's not going to use just a Snapdragon CPU. It will actually have a dedicated graphics chip on the board.
Okay.
It'll be pretty good for gaming. Now, we don't know how good it's going to be able to cool. It does have a vapor chamber for cooling, like most phones do have. But we'll have to see in testing to see how cool that stays, because now it has a separate CPU and GPU, which means it's going to have some serious issues there.
That's a lot of
45 watt fast charging should keep it a little bit charged, but still.
That's a lot of heat in that phone. Because just to point this out, just the heat alone. Now, I'm not saying you know, all PCs, like my old build used to run pretty hot. But they do get pretty warm for some setups, and that being a case that's enclosed. I just had like a small stroke. Just keep it going.
I'm just gonna let you absorb that embarrassment and failure.
Words are hard, guys. Words are hard. So don't ever speak English. Speak another language.
English do be difficult.
Yeah. So, but yeah, the enclosed case that, you know, 2 separate chips are in, I feel like that vapor chamber might not be enough in my opinion.
Yeah, exactly. Now, one cool thing that the Samsung Galaxy S22 is doing that I wish all phones were able to do is it actually has a sub display that covers the punch hole for the front camera. There is actually a display that slides over when you're not using the camera and fills in that gap to make a seamless front display when you're not using it for a perfect full screen experience. So that's gonna be really nice to have. I really wish like the Pixel 6 can adapt that, and I really wish iPhone would adapt that too. iPhone's probably just too busy doing it themselves and doesn't want to follow anyone else, so we'll see about that. But the fact that it will cover the hole will be really, really nice. Now, the cameras. So, there was a little bit of rumors going over about the fact that the Samsung S22, the single main camera, was supposed to be a 200 megapixel camera. Sadly, they have shut that down. It is going to be, if I'm correct, the 80 megapixel camera that the other S21 had, but with just some superior improvements and more cameras. This thing looks like a beast with 5 separate cameras on the back.
What? I beg your pardon?
Yes.
Why so many?
Because the Ultra version of the S22 does have a over 100 megapixel. They don't really give us an exact thing, but the Ultra variant does have that huge camera on the back. That will be a very high megapixel sensor. Trying to kind of take a jab at the iPhone 13 because the iPhone 13 doesn't really have an upgrade to the camera that's that important for megapixels, but they're really trying to take that little jab. But all regular versions will have the 80 megapixel or 50 megapixel main camera lens. It's not bad. It will have the ultra wide telephoto lens like they normally do have, as well as the macro lens, which is using the telephoto lens as well. So, not bad.
So what he's saying is, if you own an Android and your friend owns an iPhone, and he says, "Hey, take a picture for me," just don't. You're gonna get clowned. You're literally gonna take an L as soon as you send it, because you're gonna be taking a picture of a potato. It just looks bad. Just don't.
The problem that Samsung's doing is that they're trying to just go, look, the sensor's 200 megapixels with trash ass software that doesn't really do anything on it, so it just looks like trash.
If your friend has an iPhone, take a selfie with that, or even a Google Pixel. I
wouldn't take a selfie on an iPhone. Sorry, iPhone's front cameras do suck.
Yeah, they do.
The rear camera is really good.
Just get a regular camera. Just buy a Canon. It may be $1,500, $1,600, $2,000, but ultimately the picture's gonna come out a lot better than it is on a phone. Just throwing that out there. So definitely don't take any pictures on any of these phones.
Well, iPhone 13 and the Pixel, because of software, will be a really strong competitor because it does have the 80 megapixel camera. But because of that software, it's really good. With iPhones, they have great software, they have great cameras. iPhones will be able to compete with most things, especially with that astrophoto lens. Now, one last thing to wrap up the S22, it's rumored, not confirmed, that it may carry the new Snapdragon 895 4-nanometer process chip. If so, that is going to be the smallest nanometer process chip on the market and will be insanely fast. Now, still not competing with iPhone's, I believe it's a 6-nanometer or 5-nanometer process chip for the A15 Bionics, but getting there pretty good. So it's going to be relatively fast, and with that faster charging, and hopefully the new GPU actually works, then they don't have to end up putting it on a single chip, therefore making it a little bit slower. The Samsung Galaxy S22 is looking like a pretty good competitor for a lot of these flagships right now. A lot of the flagships are doing kind of different things. We'll have to see how it goes. Now, for my final thing I want to talk about is the GPU shortages. Now, a lot of people knows over COVID, GPU shortage was happening just before then because of the whole, just the cryptocurrency crash just continued for so long, and it made it super hard to get a bunch of things. But because of COVID, everyone's trying to get those things, trying to scalp. They're able to do all that stuff, and it's an easy way to make money when you don't have a job. So we're doing that.
Side note, if any of you motherfuckers bought GPUs to do Bitcoin mining, and you actually own any Bitcoin, fuck you. Because you're the reason why I couldn't get a GPU.
No. Peyton. Bitcoin miners don't go for the standard GPUs that you and I would buy. They go for the AMD ones that are higher with the HBM memory, and they use that, not the ones you would buy. So Bitcoin miners we're not too mad at.
Okay.
Because we don't like are the scalpers.
All right. Well, you motherfuckers. Are the reason I couldn't get a GPU as soon as they came out. Okay. I had the money. I had it. And y'all just took it away from me.
But good news for you is a lot of companies like Best Buy. We recently, 2 days ago, had one of the first ones at my store. A couple of them had 2 of them, so now we actually are doing a ticketing process for you to be able to get your graphics cards. So we had people lining up overnight, and you lined in line pretty much like a Black Friday sale. And once you got to the front of the line when the store opened at 8 in the morning, you were given a ticket. They asked you what graphics card you wanted. They wrote it down on the ticket. You went in, you grabbed your graphics card, and you bought it. You were only able to buy 1 per person, but you were able to buy the graphics cards you wanted in hand. So not by bots, not by anything online that you had to do. You were able to buy it in person, which was rather nice. So a lot of companies are trying to do something like that. One of the ones that tried and very, very drastically failed was MSI.
Sounds about right.
They created their own store that was supposed to be anti-bots, could buy MSI stuff, all this other stuff that ended up not working. But not only was one of the things they said that was going to show up on there was non-inflated GPU prices, as well as the bot protection, all that stuff.
Spoiler alert.
2 days ago,
spoiler alert.
GTX 3090s for $2,169. Radeon RX 6900s, 6800s, and XTs, all over $1,000. So, some companies be trying really good, like Best Buy, and actually proceeding and doing pretty well. Some companies, like MSI, who are trying to pull that traction to them so they get the income source, are still basically scalping. And the thing is, though, with this, I'm pretty sure MSI is going to get pretty hit by this, because that's technically illegal. They are increasing stock prices from their own stock. They're not getting scalped sold by some random person as their secondary. These are not secondhand. These are firsthand from MSI's factories being sold at those costs, which is not that great. And
wow.
MSI, who has already been caught doing this once before, selling to a secondhand store, scalps prices, is now doing it from their own goddamn store. So MSI has had some real issues. I have never been an MSI fan. I am full EVGA all the way.
If you buy
even more EVGA right now with MSI doing shit like that.
Look, if you buy MSI motherboards, good on you. Okay, I think just about everybody has bought one. If you buy their graphics cards, what the fuck is wrong with you? Why? There are other great brands out there, and you chose MSI. I just want to point that out. You know, do with that information what you will. But in my personal opinion, EVGA is the way to go.
I'm an EVGA fan. I currently have a Zotac card in my PC right now.
Those aren't too bad either. I actually do like those.
Pretty good. The only reason why I have it is because it was the only 3070 I could get. My coworker got one and said, "Hey, you want it? Here's how much I paid for it. Pay me." All right, cool. Fuck it. You're telling me to pay like $400, $300 something, and you're gonna give me an actual 3070?
Just to point this out, guys. He's the luckiest man to live on this earth. He has literally gotten a free graphics card. I don't remember which model it was.
1070 blew out.
Here we go. Here we go.
This is the reason why I love EVGA.
Oh my god.
EVGA power supply that went out, short-circuited, and took out my graphics card with it. I replaced the power supply because I didn't have a warranty. With the graphics card, I actually sent it to EVGA, giving information, pictures showing that it was burnt out and the actual power supply and all that other stuff. And when they got it back, they had sent me a 2070, not a 1070. And it was one of the overclocked fan for the Win editions too, which is what I paid for on my 1070.
Oh.
So they basically gave me the equivalent of what I paid for, but in the newer edition. Which was very nice.
Yeah.
So, like I said, when I say EVGA is the way to go, I mean EVGA is the way to go. All right. Anything else you want to talk about before we wrap it up here?
You know, we still, we could talk about a little bit of what Mel had mentioned before she had left.
Which is
the Blizzard lawsuit.
Ooh, I want to save that for when Mel's here because I feel like Mel has some things she wants to speak about that. So we may save that for next week, possibly when we get more information about how the lawsuit went.
Yeah, we could. Yeah, we could probably save that, honestly.
That way we can save it for when she can come back and talk, and then maybe next time too we can get Cam in here and talk about some of the stuff going on in the music world as well.
Yes, and which I'm actually planning to have him soon, as in probably the next podcast, because if you guys probably don't know, which if
you don't, fuck you.
Yeah, no. I've had my hands in different cookie jars, in a sense. Like, I have my hands in the gaming world, I have my hands in the music world. I have my hands in little areas here and there. So
not very deep in the gaming world, just so you guys.
Maybe
like 2 fingers deep in.
Yeah, but I mean, that was some shade, and I just realized that you're a dick. So, anyways, yeah, so definitely gonna get Cam or Kid Karma, which I plan to have him more on the podcast because he definitely has great opinions on some of this tech stuff, graphics cards, stuff like that. So that'll probably be next week's show. So
are we doing it on a Thursday or are we doing it on a Saturday next week?
That's a good question. I think we'll have to discuss more of that. But I probably want to do it on a weekend, only because I feel
like Saturdays work a lot better for a lot of people, and that way we can be able to even start earlier and talk for longer as well.
Yeah, definitely probably a Saturday. Because Mel probably won't have Overwatch coaching that day.
Exactly.
So we can definitely do that. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I will
make sure to follow.
Yeah, follow, like. This is also gonna.
Sub if you're on YouTube, you know who you are.
And definitely follow the link. I'm pretty sure it should be in my bio on Twitch for our Twitter, and I'm going to post the Instagram, TikTok, all that stuff. We'll be posting on all of those platforms.
It's not in his Twitch, so just like follow the TheCrowdaddies on Twitch or Twitter, just so you know, because it's not down there and he's a little slow.
And I'm gonna link it right now. If you just, you're something else, man. You're just giving me a hard time for no reason, man.
It's what I do best.
Yeah, yeah, and now I'm like scrambling to get the link. Now I'm gonna make sure to post that. Definitely join our Discord. Definitely gonna put that link also. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed the show again. I had a lot of fun doing it today, and I hope Caleb as well had a lot of fun. Doing it.
Fun. It's nice to be able to sit down and talk about a bunch of nerd shit.
Yeah, it is. It's a nice get away from everyday life. So, so yeah, guys, it's been great. We'll see you guys next week on Saturday for another live show.
Well, after the stream for a little bit of Diablo, probably.
Yes, and after the stream, I'm going to be streaming Diablo 3, so come and join, talk, have some fun. Till then, we'll see you guys.
See you.
See ya.